Tallapoosa County to look at a big rock. Well, more than a big rock, it's a big boulder. And there's a little more to see than just that. So grab your hat and put on your walking shoes and let's go to Tallapoosa County. Okay, now today on our Alabama adventure, we're in Dadeville, Alabama. We're about 5 miles out of Dadeville on the Dudleyville Road or Dudleyville Highway, whatever it's called. What we got here is a stone carving of Red Eagle. Red Eagle was the chief of the Creek Indians, the whole Indian nation when they had the Creek Indian Wars. I'll see if I can get a little closer. Hopefully you can see it pretty plain there. The wind's blowing again, and I hope you can hear this. This has been here for a long time, as long as I can remember. I don't know the story on who carved this or when it was carved, but it's supposed to be the likeness of Chief Red Eagle, whose real name was, or other name was William Weatherford. As you can see in this little plaque down here that's fallen down. It says, William Weatherford, let everybody and his brother get by. I'm wondering what I'm doing out here. We're on an Alabama adventure. The little plaque, as you can see over the years, has begun to rot, and the people that live in this house, I suppose, are the people that own it or take care of it. And as you can see, they keep the grass cut here on the side of the road real nice and clean for people to pull over and look at this. And this is a part of the beginning of Alabama history. But anyway, let me get back on the plaque. William Weatherford, Red Eagle, 1781 to 1824. I come to beg you to send for the women and children, the Red Sticks, who are now starving in the woods. Their fields and cribs have been burned by your people, who have driven them to the woods without an ear of corn. The Red Sticks are nearly all killed. My warriors can no longer hear my voice. Their bones are at Talladega, Tuskalahatchee, Emuckfaw, and Tahopeka. So did Red Eagle, war chieftain of the Red Stick Creeks, bravely speak to Andrew Jackson in surrender. Red Eagle bragged proudly, not for his life, but for the victims of the bloody war, suffering hunger, the widows and orphans of Red Sticks slain in battle with white armies. Jackson, or Old Hickory, was stirred by the courage of the chief and moved by his care and sacrifice for his people. Jackson shouted to the soldiers who wished to kill Red Eagle, any man who would kill as brave a man as this would rob the dead. Red Eagle was a hunter of venison, breeder of horse flesh. Red Eagle tread here when Alabama was yet a wilderness. Let's look at it one more time before we leave, and we're going to get off the road here, and I'm going to tell you about what I have read and been told about Red Eagle. This is in this stone is in a pasture. As you can see, the fence right up here, and the people have been nice enough to leave a little indention in the pasture fence and a board out across the top to where it doesn't block his face. And there's a fence that goes up the road, and on either side the road has been cut, the grass has, so it'd be easy for you to pull over. There's another house there that you might recognize if you're down this way, and some beautiful scenery around, some trees, some oak trees, and it's just a cool, peaceful place right here. Anyway, this is a Red Eagle monument here in, well, just outside of Dadeville, Alabama. So let's go somewhere else where it's a little quieter, and I can tell you why Red Eagle is so highly thought of Indian in this part of the country. Oh, again, we've made it back to the shack, and I wanted to finish the Red Eagle video at Horseshoe Bend, but while I was filming there, I began to pick up so many ghosts on the video that we did that we've decided just to make a complete different video out of that. So what I was wanting to do was tell you a little bit about Red Eagle, who was the last Creek war chief. The reason I wanted to go to the holy ground at Horseshoe Bend was because that was where he took the job one night. But what I'm going to do, I've got a Alabama history book here that I'm going to show you. If you ever get a chance to get a hold of one of these books, it is well worth it if you're interested in anything that happened in Alabama. This is one of the best history books I believe that's ever been written. I was very fortunate about 20 years ago now to go to the school one afternoon to pick up my son, and I noticed the way I had to walk by a dumpster, and I noticed several of these books had been thrown in there. So I went and asked the principal at the time, were they throwing those books away, or had the kids just thrown them in the dumpster for some reason? And he said no, that new books were being issued, and I asked him if he cared if I got these books out of the dumpster, and he said to go ahead, and I would like him to know that I really appreciate it. Well, I told him I appreciated it, and I'd like him to know now that I appreciate it. I have passed these books along to a lot of people, and a lot of people that have got them have said, well, I remember the story of so-and-so when I was in 4th grade. It's 4th grade Alabama history book is what it is. So if you ever get a chance to get a hold of one, if you're, like I said, if you're interested in Alabama history, this is a very good book. And what I'm going to do is I want to read a little bit out of it about Red Eagle. I have been back to Horseshoe Bend on several occasions to finish this video, and I just keep picking up ghosts on the video down there. But like I said, we're going to put that in a video later. But let me read a little bit about Red Eagle. First thing I'm going to have to do is get my other eyes on here for you so I can see what's in here. I have read this several times, but I can't remember it. But anyway, this is talking about the night that he decided that he would be the war chief. Now, keep in mind, it's late at night. There's a big bonfire in the middle of this big field, which is the holy ground down there. What was also important about holy ground, I'll go into more detail on that when I do a Horseshoe Bend video, but this is the same place that Tecumseh came and made his speech, wanting all the southern tribes of Indians to go to war against the whites. So it's a very powerful place down there, as you'll see in the video later. But what it is, Red Eagle is deciding that he's going to take the chief of the complete Creek Nation. Finally, after a long talk with his Indian half-brother, Red Eagle walked to the council fires one night. The Indians were silent as he appeared from the darkness. He told the Indians he was ready for battle. He had on his warrior's clothes. He wore a large red plume in his headdress, a green hunting shirt, a brightly colored belt, tight leggings dyed red, and beaded moccasins made of deerskin. A long knife hung at his side, and he carried a tomahawk. He spoke in a deep, loud voice and told his people he was ready for war and ready to lead them. He gathered together a strong band of about 1,000 warriors, and that was the ones that actually fought at Horseshoe Bend. That's about how many warriors were there that day. Now, if you'll notice, a lot of stuff was red. Red was the Creek's color for victory. They wore a band of red beads, which I often wear, and all of their hunting weapons were painted red. That ensured a quick kill, and even Red Eagle had red in his war name, Red Eagle. So red was a very important color to the Creek Indians. I would also like to add that having more to do with the color red, the Indians at Horseshoe Bend were called the Red Sticks, and As for Red Eagle taking the name Red Eagle, actually a red eagle is actually a red-tailed hawk. There's a lot in this book about Red Eagle. As a matter of fact, right here I'll show you this. It part two of the book is Red Eagle and the Creek Wars. And if you're interested in Indians, that type of stuff, it's some real good reading for you. But anyway, I'll move on over here. I won't go into all the details. I'll let you read that. One very important battle was that Red Eagle was involved in was Holy Ground. Now there's a Holy Ground at Horseshoe Bend, but there's also a place between Selma and Montgomery near Whitehall, Alabama, that is the actual Holy Ground. This was where this is where a lot of the prophets lived of the Creek Nation in those days. But the Battle of Holy Ground really made Red Eagle famous, and the soldiers really took note of him. I'm going to read you that real quick, just to let you know why Red Eagle is such a highly thought of Indian still in this part of Alabama. Now we're in the Battle of Holy Ground. I believe there was three generals with three companies that attacked. Don't hold me on that, but I believe it was three. And now they have attacked the village down there, and they're coming out on top. The army is winning, so keep that in mind. At last, when Red Eagle was alone, and the enemy soldiers were on three sides, he had to retreat. Right now, what has happened? They're having the battle, and Red Eagle has told them that that they're beat today, that they're outgunned today. They're going to have to retreat. So that's what's happening, and he is left alone on this. If you ever go down there, it's a flat, like a plateau, like, and it comes right to the edge of the river. Keep keeping that in mind now. He mounted his beautiful gray horse Arrow and turned toward the river. He could hear the sounds of rifle balls passing near his head and the shouting soldiers coming toward him. He reached the high bank of the river and stood there for a moment. He turned his horse and rode back about 30 feet from the edge. He turned again. Now, in some soldiers' accounts, it says when he was on the edge of the river, on the riverbank, that he charged them. The horse ran as fast as it could go toward the soldiers about 30 feet. Okay, now he turned his horse and rode about 30 feet from the edge. He turned again toward the river and spoke kindly to the horse. He pressed his heels into the horse's side and shouted, "Hoya, hoya!" The great gray horse sprang forward and went over the cliff, carrying Red Eagle with him. The soldiers saw this and ran to the edge of the cliff in time to see the horse and rider come to the top of the water. The soldiers could hardly believe what they saw. Though Red Eagle was their enemy, they admired his courage. The soldiers shot at him as he moved across the river, but not a single shot hit either Red Eagle or his horse. When he reached the far bank of the river, he turned, held his rifle high over his head, and shouted the war cry again to the soldiers. Then, like the wind, Red Eagle rode off into the forest and disappeared like a ghost. He would live to fight it another day. And let me add that the cliff he dove off of was 50 foot from the surface of the water, so it was a 50-foot dive that he and the horse took that day. Now, it's in some soldiers' accounts that when Red Eagle reached the far bank and turned on his horse, held his rifle over his head, and shouted the war cry, that many of the soldiers actually cheered for him down there that day as he rode off into the woods. So that's why Red Eagle is highly thought of. That's why I wanted to do the little video on the carving that's in Dadeville. We'll put the rest of the video together soon to show you the ghost. And what it was down there that day, when I started talking about Red Eagle and him taking the job, then that's when the ghost began to appear. But there's a lot to see in that video, and I hope you'll watch it soon. And I also want to add that, as in the other video, we're talking about cowboy hats, and I enjoy wearing cowboy hats while we're doing these videos. If you have a cowboy hat that you'd like to send me to wear in one of the videos, I'll include your name if you'll put on a note to include your name, or I won't say who it is if you don't want your name known. But if you send me a cowboy hat, a size 7 5/8, in return, I'll send you a complimentary 1-year membership to the Alabama Bigfoot Society. Hope you've enjoyed this edition of Alabama Adventures. I'll be looking for you next time.